Hello everyone. I'm going to now showcase all the new features in GWater2 0.6b. This will be, and I repeat, this will be the last paid version that I will be selling per se. I promised that the update that I would release the final version sometime in Q1 2025. So this will be the last feature-packed update. From now on, it's going to probably be just bug fixes and stuff, because I'm sure there will be plenty from the amount of stuff that I added. So yes, sometime likely with it, like sometime in January. I'm not 100% sure when it will be. Sometime on the workshop, I will definitely release a video about that. So let's just get into the new stuff. The new stuff. So first thing you'll notice is the water gun model. Um, if you're thinking to yourself, "Wow, that looks terrible. That looks like someone's first Blender model," you would be correct. That is literally my first Blender model. I have never modeled before, and this is the first thing I've ever created. Little side note here: you source people are insane. Like these mods with animations and crazy models and porting of other games. Like I honestly have respect for you guys because man, that getting one model into the game is probably the most difficult thing I've done in the past like month and a half. Like I'm not kidding. This was so like I I don't know how you guys do it. It's crazy. Like anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm just inexperienced. Maybe it was just because it's my first time doing it. But man, let me tell you, that was not easy to import. Anyways, this is a water. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. So, you'll notice there's sound now. There was no sound in the previous versions. The sound sounds beautiful. It is sound. I think it sells the illusion of the water a lot. It was the most anticipated feature, and I ended up kind of writing a quick algorithm to get some basic sound going. So that works. Also, you might have noticed that the diffuse particles now have lighting of some kind. They used to be full bright, so that means if you went into like a dark area like this, they would glow kind of like they emitted light. But they don't do that anymore. It looks more foamy now per se. Um, so cool thing. Oh yes, menu overhaul as well. Thanks to the rewrite by someone in the Discord named Googer. Thank you very much to that person. To him. So basically added all of these nice sounds, all of this good UX to the menu. I am very thankful. Albeit the code was a little messy. You know, we got there in the end, and it seems to work pretty well. So viscosity makes the sound goopy-ish. I don't know. It's kind of hard to hear. I mean, it is goop, so it's a little hard to. It kind of heard it there, right? Anyway, so a little goopier when the liquid is viscous. Um, so yeah. Anyways, back to the menu rewrite. Thank you. There are plenty of new features in this menu. Um, I'm not going to go over all of them, but just know that there are a lot of nice new stuff here for users to play around with. Especially this section here, I think is very, very anticipated, very, very wanted by a lot of people. So, um, you can change for instance, so the new presets tab, right? I can click on Portal Gel Orange, and it makes me run faster when I stand in it, which is pretty cool. And then like the blue will like make me jump higher if I stand in it. If I get it right, there we go. So pretty neat, pretty nifty, pretty nifty. So this was made by someone else in the Discord, not this here. This swimming parameters thing was made by someone else in the Discord by the name of JN. So thank you very much to his um, implementation of this. Very, very nice. So yeah, very nice. So another thing that came with this menu rewrite that's also very anticipated was multiplayer. So I don't have any friends right now to play with, but if there was someone else in the game, they would be able to, spawn water, and I would see, like the portal gel come out of their gun. Um, what was I trying to say? Oh yes, all of the parameters are also synced. So if there were two people open with this menu at the same time, and I slid this around, the other player would be able to see this slider moving in real time. Really, really nice implementation. Super, super clean. So very nice, very nice. Also, just a bunch of entities and stuff. Fun to play with. All of these nice, nice new entities to play around with and have fun with. You can spawn cubes, and you can spawn rain emitters. I think this is kind of cool. It's an emitter. It's an emitter of rain. Although it's not raining right now, it's portal gelling. Hold on. There we go. So now it's raining, and you can edit these properties and stuff. So I can make it rain heavier if I wanted. Always nice, always nice. Just these cool little features to have. Clouds, if you couldn't tell, are stolen from InfMap. Just kind of plugged them in, and it seems to work pretty well. So icons as well, because they weren't icons before, but there's icons now. Entities, always fun to play with. Gotta love the new entities. Oh yes, also a lot of technical changes too. So for instance, prop resizer, which didn't work before, now should work. Let me just make a really weird looking bucket here. There we go. So this would have not worked before. It would have probably phased through or something weird. Now it works. I can fill this bucket up with fluid, and I can dump it out, as you would expect from a bucket full of fluid. Just looks a little wonky because I prop resized it. Yeah, so lots of backend changes and stuff. It's really kind of just like a play around update. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I'm honestly kind of done. I've been doing this for like a year, man. I'm kind of done with it. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So I don't really have too much else to say in terms of features. I'm just going to do one more little disclaimer here. So if you are disinterested in Linux, then I would suggest clicking off, and I will see you in another video. So for my Linux users, man, oh man, I have had a fun time trying to get NVIDIA Flex to behave, per se. I think if you are a regular Linux user, I would think you would know the horrors of dealing with NVIDIA's shenanigans and having to install these like ridiculous, I don't know, like libraries and stuff. I don't use Linux per se, but let me just say I've heard horror stories of Linux stuff, and NVIDIA certainly is not one of the Linux. I don't know, like there's always been problems with NVIDIA and Linux. So the reason I'm saying this is, well, the back end of this mod uses NVIDIA Flex. This means that I don't necessarily. So one thing, I don't main Linux, because I tried one time and it just didn't work out well with my hardware. I'm not going to get into the details, but basically I don't have a good way of testing Linux. So nor am I good at Linux. I'm pretty new, and I'm more like a Windows person more than anything. So anyways, that was a really long tangent. Whatever I'm trying to say. So, if there are any Linux users that know what the hell they're doing and are know how to deal with NVIDIA's crap and have compiled stuff for NVIDIA in the past, that would be amazing. I definitely need some help with this because the problem is I'm getting what I assume is a linker error to the uh, CUDA context or something. I don't know. Um, so there's some error that happens when you like I don't know. So what'll happen is if you're a Linux user with this mod, you'll boot into the game like native Linux, and it'll probably like cause an error, and it'll be like, "Yo, something went wrong," and then it'll show you a little like red text somewhere in the developer console here, and it'll be like, "Yo, we couldn't initialize the CUDA context because blah 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 blah." Um, I need help diagnosing that error because I honestly, the binary module compiles fine. The problem is I don't know why it can't link during runtime. I think that's how you say that correctly. Um, so I just Linux gang rise up. I need help here, man. Um, So right after this update, literally, I think probably within a week for sure, I'm gonna have the full module, all the code open source, so the Linux users can come in and I don't know, figure out their magic and diagnose this issue. Um, I don't have the exact error on me right now, but uh, it's basically like yada yada yada. NVIDIA Flex could not load. Uh, Something something could not link and create CUDA context. Please check like something. I don't know. I don't remember. It was something that I couldn't figure out how to diagnose per se. So the module base uses premake, and linking is done with a few .a files, which I think are just Linux static library files, from what I understand. Um, so I don't know, man. Anyways, that was a really really long rant on Linux. So I just need help, man. I don't know. I don't know. This is something I couldn't tell you. Also, AMD GPUs do not work. I should have probably mentioned that earlier. AMD's GPUs will not work with native Linux. You can use Proton. You can use Proton um, because I've seen multiple people using Proton and it works fine. So if you've got there's some DirectX layer transition layer there. I don't know, man. I'm not a Linux user, man. Anyways, long rant on Linux. Uh, Thank you for listening to my to the rant. And if you have any insight onto how to fix the issue, um, please tell me. Thank you.